on? We're live?
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the Alberto Crane Podcast. Get all your news and BJJ highlights right here today with yours truly, special guest, Jiu-Jitsu, live in the house.
Tack fit? Any tack fit in there?
I need tack fit. I mean, I play with the club bells at home quite a bit. I don't go to tack fit class because I'm
Your schedule?
lazy. Yes,
So
of course.
You do enough at the warehouse?
I do. Well, I mean, like, I've got a couple club bells at home, and lately my shoulders have been a real issue.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of just mills when I wake up in the morning,
A little traction.
like, I just get it flowing. Like, I feel it, when they're demonstrating triangles on me, my arm's hurting, I'm tapping from a shoulder lock instead of the choke. I'm like, I got problems,
Yeah, but you do like the flow and with the X when X is around. That's how you doing a little flow fit, doing the club bells.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I still do. I carry all that stuff with me. So, like, if I'm feeling funky, I move around, flow around. I like the, animal flow, into flow kind of stuff. Just pushing the body, finding where it's uncomfortable, moving around into those spaces and getting comfortable in those spaces. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's like as I grow, as I get older, you become more in tune with your own body. If you're willing to listen to it and give it a chance, then it'll tell you exactly what you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Intuitive, right? Intuitive flow, into flow. So how long have you known Caveman for?
Caveman.
Are the stories true?
The stories are, I mean, I haven't heard all the stories, but they're probably true. We go way back. I want to say I was 14. He was probably 14, 13. I was a lonely little long-haired, hippie-looking
that's
kid.
what he said. Yeah, that's what he
sitting
said.
in the weight room. I was super early because I didn't know any better. I was like waiting for people to show up, and then he shows up. Next thing you know, we're besties, dude. We're lifting all the time. We're hanging out. Man, we used to go to Fuddruckers before they closed and crush just everything we could. Yeah, just eat, get big, lift weights, go train with Arnold. Those were the days, man. The glory days back in my day,
And then, and then you, how did you went to North Dakota?
South Dakota.
South Dakota. Play football there? You play football?
I did, yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to Poly here, John H. Francis Polytechnic in Sun Valley. All my family went there, so it was like a legacy.
Boom.
And then I played at LA Valley College for a couple of years, and in the gap of playing football from junior college to university is when I actually discovered jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
Because I had a friend who did judo, and he saw the website online for Legacy. God, 2015, maybe, something like that.
That's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, literally, yeah. So I stopped in, I did like a week trial, and then I was like, I'm going to go back to college and play football. So I did that and then moved back here, and I was like an intern at Burbank Water and Power, literally across the street. And I'd look out my window, and I could see Legacy through the alley. And I was like, fuck, I want to be there, man. I don't want to be sitting in this office. I want to go train.
Is that what happened?
That's exactly what happened, and I already had the idea in my mind. So I came, I stopped in for a class. I knew how to hip escape already. And the coach there was like, hey, how do you know this? And then proceeded to whoop my butt when we rolled. I'll never forget it, getting folded like a lawn chair. I always tell people jiu-jitsu is like being folded while your clothes are getting folded while you're still wearing them. And
That's a good way to put it.
It's crazy, man.
What made you want to do it in the first place?
Well, I played offensive line in football, so I was a big guy. I was 290.
We talk about it, how the blind side, the protector of the quarterback.
Exactly. So I'm that guy, but smaller and wider. And not as good. So, I only went so far.
Guys are giant.
He's a mammoth of a man. These guys are monster human beings. If you ever see a group of offensive linemen, it's insane. It's like a bunch of like water buffalo in human form. It's ridiculous. So what was the question?
And you were in the middle of these huge guys.
Yeah. So like when I went to LA Valley, man, that's like anything goes.
How heavy did you get? Like
at my biggest, I was 295.
Wow.
But I'm only like 5'11". I'll lie and tell you I'm 6 foot, but like I'm really not that tall. Then I'm going against dudes who are like 6'7", 320. Like at LA Valley, like it's wild out there, man. You get dudes who like they got out of jail. I had teammates who were like holding their kid and taking smoke breaks on the sideline. I'm like, where am I? But they were hardcore, man. I would go play at junior college again. You know what I mean? Assuming I was like 18 again. I'm 30 now. My back would break.
How was it moving to South Dakota?
That's
A
crazy,
different,
man. The
different
culture
place.
shock
Yeah,
was
culture
real.
shock.
Like, I remember it was the Saturday before I moved. I went there, like, I flew out on, like, a Sunday or a Monday. I don't remember. But I'm having a phone conversation with somebody in administration, and they're like, oh, what's it like out there, this and that. I'm like, yeah, it's 80 degrees. I'm working out, getting ready, blah, blah, blah. I'm outside, my shirt off. And they're like, all right, well, be ready because it's 8 degrees. And your first day of school is going to have negative 40 wind chill. So you can't be outside for more than like 5 minutes. Or you're going to start getting frostbite in anything that's exposed. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'll be right there. I'll be on the first flight out.
Oh, my God.
So I could have made better choices for sure. But I went in, I was like, whatever, let's just do it. I wanted to play football.
Yeah.
They had a good major for what I wanted to do, right? They were a very computer-focused school, computer science, network security.
What'd you major in? What did you get?
Network security and administration.
Okay.
Yeah, so like when I was an intern at Burbank Water and Powers for like the operational technology department, I was helping them monitor like end devices on networks, things like that.
Okay.
I hate it. I don't hate the work, but I hate sitting in an office.
In a chair.
I hate the lights, the chair, dude. I'm wearing a polo. I'm like, this is awful, man. I gotta get out of here. Like, I want to work with my hands, dude. I grew up slaving away in the field, like playing ball, sweating, getting dirty and grinding.
Manual stuff.
I'm just built for that. I'm like a working dog, I gotta work. I need to be doing stuff. If I'm inside, I'm in the house, I'm going crazy. Man. I need the sun. I need to be sweating. I need to be grinding whatever the kids are saying.
We drove the tack fit warehouse to across country, right?
Can you tell this story?
Yeah.
Has this story ever made the airwaves?
No.
Oh, I got you. Listen, so we're driving back. It's a 35-hour drive from Georgia to Los Angeles, right? And we're loading up the tack fit warehouse, basically, into a U-Haul. None of us know better. So we overload the U-Haul by, God, like 8,000 to 10,000 pounds. But that U-Haul is a tank, man. We made it 30 of the 35 hours, right? We're in Arizona. We're like, where's the home
the border of
stretch,
California,
baby?
Yeah.
Literally. And then all of a sudden, we're like, it's like a movie. We're like, yeah, this is great.
Make a good time.
Pop, loud pop. We're like, what's going on, dude? We start veering into the ditch, go into the ditch. The tire blew off, so
it's on fire.
The rim is sparking up, and it lights a fire on the side of the road. So I gather a bunch of water bottles from the back of the truck. I'm like dumping them out, trying to put out a fire. It's getting crazy. People pull over. The fire trucks pull up. People are pulling over because it's Arizona, not California. So people actually are like, "Whoa, is everything okay? Let me help you." California, they're like, "Hey, good luck." And then we got stuck out there for 5 hours. It took 3 different trucks to finally get us out. I remember helping the guy load up on the last truck after being stranded for the last 5-6 hours on the side of the Arizona desert, by the way.
Yeah.
And then, goddamn, we get it back. They have to split the load. And of course, the pallets are broken. So the guys doing the job are having trouble. So of course I go help those guys too. We
basically loaded up into. We did 2 trucks basically. We had 1 truck into 2 trucks. That's what should have been the weight. Yeah,
exactly. And we didn't know better.
We had double loaded because the tires barely were. We were driving out of the place, but the thing was so heavy, it was like rubbing against the tires.
Yeah, you could hear it too. And all of us were like,
okay, yeah, it's okay.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine until it's not.
Right. I mean, it was good because we were so close to home because it would have been expensive if we were like, farther away.
Well, yeah, and then after the entire debacle, it's like, all right, well, it's 10 p.m. now. We still got to drive home. So it's another 5 hours.
Yeah, I just remember like both of us, we flew because it's so heavy, right? It didn't stop. It kept going, right, off the ditch. And then then it finally stopped, and we just looked at each other. You okay? And we just laughed.
We're good. We laughed. Look back.
There's a fire.
It's like, oh, somebody should do something about this.
You got the waters, put it out. Yeah, okay, it's okay.
Oh my God. And then I remember, getting back home. It was a 5-hour drive, right? But it's late and I'm exhausted. We had the longest day. So I was pounding Red Bulls. And I got home. I'm like, it's over. And I just laid in bed like, I could like feel the blood surging through my body. I was like, there's no way I'm going to sleep after a day like this. Yeah. It was intense, man.
Yeah, we made it, though. We made it.
And good old Bob handled that until I took over. Man, that was the time, dude. Well, the crazy part about all of that, though, was like it was during COVID, so we flew out and there was nothing. Yeah. There was nobody at the airport.
The LAX was completely empty.
There was no cars coming for traffic. And then even Atlanta, Georgia airport, whatever that's called.
Completely empty.
Empty. What would you say? It's like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like completely after the zombie apocalypse happened.
Nobody was in the airport. In LAX, the busiest airport, nobody.
Not a soul, dude. You could hear a pin drop down the hall. Like, it was amazing. It was amazing, you know? I'd do it again.
The flights were like $10
I believe,
round trip.
Yeah, it was a $2 flight with like $15 fees, which is insane. If you went to the airport and bought the flight, it probably would have only been $2.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
To charge extra fees online, dude. I'm always looking for the ways to get around this stuff.
The tricks.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'll never forget that. Us going to the airport. And D was like, let's go now. I was like, okay, because everything was closed anyway.
Very abrupt. It was like everything shut down, and 3 days
and we
later,
just happened to have like coffee or something like the day before. So like, I wonder if Drew would be down to go, you know, because we were hanging out already.
What made you guys want to move the warehouse out here, though?
I don't know, man. Like Adit, you know, just Adit wanted to. I think we had more control. I think we should have. You know, hindsight is, you know, it's always easier to look back. But I think it wasn't necessary. I think it was good the way it was. You know, especially where we had all those shipping issues later on in LA.
Oh man,
with all the backed up shipping, you know, the ships, right? Not being able to dock, you know. And out there wasn't that issue, right? With the because they had in Georgia, wherever the terminal is, right, for the ships to come in was never like packed like it was here in LA.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, I mean, I got to say, I'm glad it happened because this job's been amazing. So being able to manage the warehouse and live life and still be able to train and compete and do all this stuff, it's been a blessing, a massive blessing that I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
So.
But I got to hear a lot of stories from you, like when, you know, going to South Dakota and you're like putting country music on and we're driving here, you know, and you're telling me stories about, you know, your high school, or not high school, but your college.
That was a good time, man. You know, I mean,
football.
goddamn, the country music. I really got into country music because girls out there liked country music. So I was like, how do I weasel my way in? Oh, you know what it was? We were at a bar one time and everybody was singing this song. And I was
What
super Friends in Low Places.
Friends in Low Places.
Yeah, by Garth Brooks. I hope I got that right. But I was jealous. I had major FOMO, you know.
Everybody was singing the song.
Everyone's singing along, and I'm like, what is this? This is an outrage, dude. I was pissed. So then I went through my history and all that stuff. But there's nothing to do out there, man. Like, I went to college in a town like 2 miles wide with like, I think there was 7,000 people in the town.
Wow.
And then the school had like 1,100 kids.
Wow.
You know, and I just wanted to play football. I wanted to. College was fun and all. You know, of course was getting my education, all that good stuff. But the sports was where it was at. That's really the truth. Like, I wanted to have fun. I wanted to continue playing, and it was a great opportunity to do it. Plus, like, the culture shock going from like a giant city to this small town. It was like a Hallmark movie. You know what I mean? Like learning to readjust and live with all the...
Called big time culture shock.
Massive, yeah. It's insane. I was like, you guys have Uber out here? And they're like, what's an Uber? Like, mind you, this was 2016 when I moved out there, 2015, something like that. So a decade ago. It's weird saying... Man, I'm getting old, dude. Look at this.
Yeah, I went to Fargo. I was telling you, we went to Fargo with Serenity last year. Yeah, exactly. And you were telling me, yeah, we used to go there and play.
We played a football game there, dude. Yeah, so they have
Fargo,
like
North Dakota.
Like like I played in a small conference, so like the championship game was there, or whatever it was. So we went and played like the best team in our league. Got completely shat on. This one kid, like, we had two, like, all-American linebackers. The running back jumped over one of our guys, did a front flip in midair, landed on the other guy, and scored a touchdown.
Wow.
I didn't play. I sat on the sideline for my whole junior year. I was like, hey, well, at least it wasn't me. Like, it was crazy, dude. I never seen anything like that.
Yeah. What did football like mean to you?
Man, football is everything, dude. It was for a while it was like a means to an end, you know. Growing up, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play, I'm gonna be in the NFL, I'm gonna be big and bad and scary. And then I got to high school and I was like, I'm not getting any taller. So it's like, as long as I can still play some college ball, man, do something like that, because I just enjoyed it.
So you got wider.
Exactly. I got wider. I did not get taller. But like my brother was like, you know, I was like just a little shithead. I was playing video games all the time, not really caring about nothing. And then my brother's former Marine, all hard ass, was like, you're going to play football. You're going to like it no matter what. So I ended up doing that. It was a little rough at first because...
and you started playing in high school?
No, I started at Pop Warner.
Okay.
So like middle school age, but like I was this little fat 11-year-old, right? And if I wanted to play with my teammates, I had to lose weight. So I remember they would wrap me in like saran wrap. And I'd go run around like Rocky, you know, wearing the trash bag. And I'd sweat all this water weight out. And at the end of the day, I never missed weight. I played every single football game, started every game, played every snap. You know what I mean? So it worked out in the end. And mind you, it's always tough in the beginning, right? Especially as like a 11, 12-year-old, you know, who doesn't know anything else. Like I played sports, but I never had to deal with that level of intensity and like conditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
So initially, you know, I'm like, this sucks. But then as you get older, it's like, this was amazing.
Do you think if you would have done jiu-jitsu as a kid, that would have helped you in football?
I'm not too sure, man, because
With, I don't know, just the mindset or whatever, the body.
I think if I would have learned, like, not so much from jiu-jitsu, but like the principles that TACFIT teaches, right? Like the
Structure,
7 core concepts, structure, breathing, all of that stuff, that has changed so much for me in my approach, right? Because football is head down, run through this wall, right? There's some technique into it, obviously, but there's a far less technique that comes with jiu-jitsu. So like going from football to jiu-jitsu, I had to readjust everything. I had to change my mindset. You know, at first coach was 6 foot, 170. I was like, I'm going to run right through this guy. And that was not the case. Put me in a bow and arrow choke in 30 seconds.
Because what I forgot his name. The Giants coach, he was in New York, right? He had his linemen do like jiu-jitsu to kind of get their hand fighting better and stuff.
Okay.
Like
so
technique like that, you
I'm
know?
sure, yeah. So like I think my hand fighting here, everything here that I do well, I've gotten from football. But the intensity is so much that I got from football really has translated to jiu-jitsu. I feel like if I had done jiu-jitsu first, it's the way we approach it, right? It's more methodical. It's more like this and that. I think it would have given me more, like, I would have seen things better, maybe. I could have approached the situations better, understood technique a little bit better. But I don't know. I think there's I don't know, because when I do jiu-jitsu, I don't go as hard. Right. When I played football,
who knows?
death.
Right? Maybe there was that got your head straight to go all in on the
for that 6 seconds the play was going. I was
maybe
like,
if you would have done jiu-jitsu, you would have been too smart to.
I would have been thinking about too much. I would have been more methodical, this and that, blah blah blah. But I may not have like come out of the gate as hard, you know, because it's. There's a lot more chess type playing in jiu-jitsu as opposed to football. It's like snap the ball, run, put my head on that shoulder and just run the guy. You know what I mean? So like for my own good, I might have gotten into my head a little bit more. I might have been like, I don't know, this and that. But then I didn't know anything, you know? It's like being a brand new white belt, not learning any bad habits. It's like, hey, just put your head down, run through this wall. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And I'm even grateful for jiu-jitsu because like, you know, then I lived my life that way. Right? Put my head down, run through every wall. Don't even see what's around. You know what I mean? And then as I started getting more into jiu-jitsu, meeting other people, you know, everyone's like, you got to slow down. You got to slow down. You know, that always translates into life too. It's like, okay, well, I can't just put my head down and run through this wall. I've got to methodically figure out how to get around it, you know, or how to fold it or whatever it is. But, I guess the answer to the question is I think it would have made me I don't know.
You
if
would
it
have been a
would've
different player,
beneficial.
right?
Yeah. Because I wouldn't have been the big dumb idiot that just puts my head
I
down.
was telling Jeet this morning about how like guys are like kind of done with certain things, and I'm like, well, we don't want to be too smart because if we have to fight against lions or whatever we got to do in nature,
Yeah.
we can't be too calculating.
be figuring shit out in the middle. You
we
just
got to
gotta
be
do
dumb
it.
and just handle business when it's time.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough too.
Yeah.
I'm a real tough SOB, dude, and it helps because I'm a real dumb SOB.
Yeah,
too.
man. Good for something, right?
I literally, this head is a battering ram. I like to say the CTE is real. Okay, for anybody who thinks it's not real, it is real. Okay, I forgot my name walking in here. No, I'm kidding. Welcome back to CTESPN. Great to have you all.
What happened here on the scar on your forehead?
That was actually college as well. This is a perfect example of why you shouldn't be nice, right? This is the one time I decided to be nice and be civil. Okay, I'm in college. I'm sitting in the dorm room. It's like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. Party's over, man. We're chilling. There's like 2 girls here. So I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging out, of course. And then these 3 dudes come back from partying somebody at somewhere else. Literally all of us are new to the school this semester. And one guy's like freaking out, this and that. And like, believe this or not, I did security for many years, right? So I specialize in like de-escalating situations. Verbally first, physically if it ever comes to it, which thankfully it never comes to it. But in this situation, I was, I'm talking to the guy, right? Where the table's about this long. I'm over here. He's over there. And I'm looking at him like this. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm done. It's okay. It's the first time I'm ever being civil in my life. And I'm like, I'm done then. And I go like this, and I look to my friend sitting right here, and just lights out. I'm like, what's going on? I'm in a daze. They threw a liquor bottle, and it cracked me right here. So like an inch lower, that's my eyeball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that, first of all. And it was crazy, dude. So the clinic was like right across the street, so we just walked. I'm like bleeding out, blood everywhere. I'm holding paper towels to my face. Got like a couple people walking me to the hospital.
Oh my God.
It was nuts. And then, American healthcare system, I'm just sitting there in the waiting room bleeding out, waiting to be seen.
What happened to that dude? Did you find out who threw it?
Yeah, no. He was like expelled from the school, stuff like that. Like, whatever.
He was like drunk and stupid.
It was
Yeah.
a hate crime.
Yeah.
That's another story, though. Yeah, man. That was the first major scar I had. I have a million scars now, dude. But it all teaches you lessons, right? Yeah. Like, be a little more aware of your situation, right? Like, I didn't see his hands. I should have seen his hands. Things like that. Or it's 4 a.m. Take your ass to bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing
don't
good
be in that
happening
situation.
that late.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it is what it is. Makes a good story now. It was the first time I ever got stitches, so that was exciting. Right? Everybody felt bad for me. I was taking it all in, the attention. I was like, yes, please. Eating it up.
Man.
Good times, man. Not great, but good times.
I just had when you were talking about tension, went to visit you in the hospital when you had your motorcycle accident.
Oh, yeah.
And you had your voice is already like raspy, and then your voice is even more raspy.
It was worse. I know.
And your lips were all swollen. They got all puffy because they were dry.
So I got hit in the mouth and the face.
And yeah, man, it was scary. But you had all the nurses laughing,
Of course, dude.
Because you're cracking jokes.
I can have a bunch of cute girls around me, and I'm not being silly. I just remember waking up to this guy grabbing my toes. It's like, what?
Robert Miller fainted when he went to go visit you.
Allowed to tell that story? Yeah, softy, baby. He walked in. I didn't get to say hi because I was coughing up whatever gross blood into some bag.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I gotta sit down. Miss you, Rob. Love you, bud. I hope you're watching this.
I know.
Is this live? Are we live?
We're live. Straight to his phone.
Straight into your ear canals. Through
we
the
miss
brain.
him, man. Buff Rob, bro. Dude. Yeah, man.
We'll throw Kevin out. We'll put you right back in, dude. It's like you never left. We'll get a picture of you on the wall, dude.
Yeah, where is he?
Those are
Is he
cool.
up here? He's downstairs and coming up here.
He's on the wall.
He's on
dude,
the
either
wall,
way.
all over at Taco,
Forever.
yeah.
There's all these people that do tackle that have no idea who this legend is, man. We need to bring him back. We need
Yeah.
to get him. We need to get him on a
How do we do it?
tour.
We'll bring him out for a workshop. That's already in the in the
Okay.
works, and then I'm sure some certifications. You know,
Absolutely. I need to
but I
know
want
when
him.
that
I want to
is.
see him, man. I want to see him every week. It's one of my motivations. You know,
For sure, dude.
you know, it's not the same. You
To
know,
be as old as he is and still is completely jacked all the time. Like
Straight
he
up.
walks around like homeostasis is just shredded.
burritos, whatever. he just-
Burrito, the burrito master, dude. Like, how do you grow biceps? Bean burritos. Like he's arm goals, bro. Like I want to look like that guy. I hope I'm that healthy when I'm, of age.
Yeah, man.
Love you,
Yeah.
bud.
Yeah, miss him.
I do too, man. In other news, I got a strongman competition next week.
You do?
I do. Yeah, I'm venturing out from the martial arts, and we're just doing whatever I can find out.
How did you
know?
How did you run across a strongman competition?
My buddy asked me. He was like, "Hey, you want to do this? It's in a month." I was like, "Yeah, I'm strong. Let's see what's up, dude." It's definitely different. It's not like your standard weightlifting, which I obviously love. I've been doing that for a long time, but it's like I've been watching these just freaks, absolute freaks, pick up the biggest rocks I've ever seen. And as a child with 4 brain cells, I thought that was amazing. I was like, well, I want to pick up the rocks. So,
I think all of us, we watched the strongman competitions.
For
and,
sure,
like you
dude.
stay glued if you're a guy. Like
absolutely. You're like, how are they doing this? This is like the Hulk in real life. This
Yeah.
guy's pulling an 18-wheeler. This guy's picking up a tractor. It's like, is this fake? Like, how are you doing this? Turns out lots of steroids. That's how.
These guys are.
They're freaks, man. But there's
Freaks,
weight
yeah.
categories, right? So,
There
like,
are.
There are, yeah.
Okay, for this one is.
For this one, yeah. For all the little guys, there are. For the big dudes, it's like, I don't care. Show up, look like whatever you look like, pick up the rock, put it over here, and shut up. That's all that matters. Right, but this one, it's like, there's weight classes, so there's different weight variabilities
okay.
for the exercises. Like, I've never done it before, man. I'm excited. And then I've been training for it, so I'm getting all these, oh, you're so strong compliments from all the jiu-jitsu guys. Like, I'm just really good at hugging. That's all it really is.
So it's a rock picking up boulders.
It's like different events, right?
Okay.
Like I'm pulling a boat or like pick up a rock overhead that weighs like 200 pounds.
Okay.
Hold this big ass hammer out in front of you.
Okay.
Things like that. I honestly don't remember what the rest of the events are. And I kind of don't want to look into it. I kind of just want to go blind and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I just have fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time I start, like in jiu-jitsu, for example, man, I'm brown belt now. I haven't competed at brown belt yet, but all my other competitions after the first one, I got anxious, right? I have too much information. I'm thinking about all this stuff, this. What is he going to do? What am I going to do? But my first tournament, I just put my head down and ran through people. I didn't win, but I had a lot of fun.
I remember at the tournament, was it Kevin that was making fun of me? Because I was like, when I was kind of coaching on the side, I was like, figure it out, not give you like, do this, do that. You just like, you just gotta
worlds,
go.
dude. Novice worlds. And you know what I did, though?
You did
under
it.
this dude. I remember it perfectly. I'm under this dude. It's half guard. He's on top of me in half guard. I'm down by like a points. The clock's running out. I'm pretty sure you could still watch it on Flow. And like I look up and I see your face in the crowd, and you're like, you gotta figure it out.
Like, but you need the intensity. You need the intensity.
I rolled this guy right over. And then the clock ran out. Won that match. Was amazing, dude. That gave me the bronze in that match. And then I got worked by some Brazilian guy the next round, dude. He put me in locked up the triangle, arm barred me so fast in like a minute. I was like, oh my God, what is this? Jiu-jitsu is not real. Like, and then he went on to win gold, so that made me feel better, right? I went home, I was like, I got my bronze, it's okay.
But you started doing judo too, right? This has been, when did you start judo?
Since
since Iran,
years
right?
ago.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Iran.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of when I first started here, but
Yeah.
I never, it was one day a week, and I'd miss a lot. I'd miss months at a time. I wasn't really committed to it like I should have been. I learned a couple throws. and they were good to me, but I had no real technique, and then Sensei Dan started working with us, and that's been like unreal. We started like doing all the foot sweeps, working away from the ground up, and that's been a game changer, man. Like there's nothing in this world more satisfying than just sweeping someone's foot out from under them, just watching them like. Yeah, exactly.
Oh no!
Like forsaken.
Like a slow motion, right?
Exactly, dude.
In your mind, you're like, oh man,
this is terrible. But like, Gloria, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to. She's a little bit older, right? But she's a badass.
Yeah,
she's still a badass.
Yeah.
Okay. And one time we're doing this Shark Tank, everyone's coming at me, dude. She came at me fast. We ended up shuffling sideways, and I just instinctively like foot swept her from my warm ups, and I watched her like. Just open up, like, why have you forsaken me? Oh my God, we still talk about it. That was the greatest. That was amazing. Feels so bad, but at the same time, I'm so proud.
Yeah, you're mixed, right? Mixed emotions. You're like, oh man, oh my God,
I was like, that was so perfect, but
and
I
then
just
at the same time,
messed
you're like,
up
oh.
Gloria. We beat up women and children out here, all right? You step on the mats, you sign the waiver. I don't care. We're coming at you.
How did you start teaching kids? How did that happen?
Well, years ago, it started here.
Right.
I was a blue belt, and I was like, hey, I'm not really working. Maybe I can volunteer my time, but then also very selfishly, because I know that if you coach, if you teach, it's a proven learning method. It helps you understand the moves better. Mm-hmm. So I was like, if I start teaching, that it's going to help me improve. And then as well, there's other things. I was like, maybe I could do private lessons, and then there's the social aspect as well. And all that was exciting. And then COVID happened. We did the whole thing with the warehouse. So I transitioned from there. Mm-hmm. And then Eric opened up Legacy West Valley, shout out. And I wasn't super interested in coaching, but then at one point, it came to the point where I was like, I think I'd be a good gym owner one day. I feel like that'd be a good goal to aspire to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Try to get double black belts, judo, jiu-jitsu, take my time, enjoy the process. And then she's great with kids, and I don't have patience like I should, which I'm working on it. This guy was a huge factor in that too, because I remember driving one time freaking out about something, and he's just like, you need patience. So when I'm freaking out, I hear this man in my brain going, you need to have some patience. So I found that as a golden opportunity to, one, develop more patience, right? Mm-hmm. Two, selfishly improve my own jiu-jitsu. And then three, learn how to work with, not only adults, which are easy in my opinion, but children. Children are not easy to deal with, man, because they don't know anything about you. They don't care about you, they tell you smell, you're funny looking. They're brutally honest. You know what I mean? So
no filter.
None whatsoever, dude. So trying to find a way to maneuver those situations, right? With different kids, with different people. Adults, everybody's their own person as well. But kids are so much more volatile. Right? I tried to, we'll say, motivate a kid, and he started crying. I was like, oh my God, what are we doing here, But at the same time, it's developing me as a person, right? To be more understanding, to be more patient. And like I said, selfishly, it's helping my jiu-jitsu game. We're teaching bully guard stuff, mounts, all this. My mount is insane right now, dude.
Nice.
If I get on top of you, I may not finish you, but we're going to lay here for 4 or 5 minutes. And that all comes from the Spider Kid, right? All these things we're teaching, it almost felt like it was my destiny to end up coaching, right? Because I look at the kids and I'm like, I was these kids. I played baseball, basketball as a kid, football is what I stayed with. But I was those kids.
Yeah, because you stopped for a minute. What motivated you to get back into it? Teaching kids.
Yeah, like you said, I stopped for a minute, right? Mm-hmm. And it was I
know you were got busy doing a lot of things. I think maybe it was overwhelming for a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I was doing a lot. I was working with my buddy doing construction. Those are heavy days, man. I was training a lot, just trying to get healthy.
You're trying to train a lot. I think you're focusing on training.
And then even with Crescenta Valley for the, RIP, while it was around, that was an interesting time because I wasn't necessarily kids coaching, but that was I enjoyed the process, you know what I mean? And that was kind of not owning the gym, but just running the gym,
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
what it
yeah.
was like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So that really piqued my interest, right? I was upset when I wasn't able to be there anymore. But then as a new opportunity presented itself, even just coaching, and then
Yeah.
we also like built the gym, right? It was an empty space, so I went and helped literally see from the ground up what it was like. And it was like a golden opportunity to see what something looks like to be created from before there's even anything physical, you know. And that's something I hope to do one day as well. The whole ground's shaking. His headphones are really good, so Godzilla's coming up the stairs. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It was like the like I keep saying older, right? But I'm getting a little bit older. I'm 30 now, right? And when I started here, I was 24. So my outlook was different, what I wanted to do, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And as I've been around in the world more, and I've seen not only what jiu-jitsu's done for me, but what, you know, not even just jiu-jitsu, but like the disciplines and the practices do for anyone, right? Like it's changed me. I was pretty degenerate when I first started coming here. I was doing things that was causing me to miss classes. And I changed because I didn't want to be that person anymore, and I wanted to make jiu-jitsu class. And I've heard countless stories about people who, you know, they repurpose themselves so they're able to do these sort of things because it does so much for us. It's like, which is weird because like at the same time you can get hurt doing jiu-jitsu and never do it again, right? Like you love the game, does it love you back? I don't know. But my love for the game is enough. And
you can always adapt, or you can always train differently, right?
Exactly.
No matter what happens.
Exactly. You
But
lose
the
a leg,
the
there's
biggest
dudes
benefit
that
is
do
what
it.
it does for our, you know, our mindset,
Exactly.
our character, right?
Exactly. Like it teaches you to problem solve under a high intensity situation, right? Like this guy, I'm a big dude. I'm 220. I'm sweaty and hairy. I'm on top of you, and you've got to figure out how to get out while I'm trying to choke you. You're never going to have any problems the rest of your life, right? Like nothing's going to be more trying and demanding than that, you know? And I want to like pay that forward in a way because our society's kind of softening up, as we all know, you know? So it's nice to help people realize like you're capable of more if you just give yourself the chance to do more. You know, put yourself in this bad situation, which I do as well in jiu-jitsu. Not with the people who are good, not with the black belts, but like a blue belt or white belt, you know, I'll let them pass, let them put me in this bad situation. It's like synonymous for life, you know? It's like, how do I, you know, make this awful situation a good one? And how do I even turn it on its head and start taking advantage and winning the situation? You know, and if I can get more people, like everyone I meet, I'm like, oh, you should come try jiu-jitsu, come to class, you know, it's this time, free trial, come on in, you know, just try it. And like, it's life-changing, man. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say the same for football, you know, something like that. Like if I was like 30 years old and I was like, I'm going to go play football, like I would die. I would break and fold, you know. I guess you could go play like beach volleyball or something like that. But nothing compares to literally another grown human being like trying to impose their will on you. And I think that's what brought me to jiu-jitsu as well, because like in football, that's what we'd say. Like, I'm going to impose my will on this person. I'll even tell you what I'm going to do, and you're not going to be able to stop it. And maybe that's ego, because it feels a lot like ego too.
You have to.
You kind of have to. You know, they say leave it at the door, but you got to have a little bit. Otherwise, you can get tapped every day, all the time. You know, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
Controlled beast mode, right?
Exactly.
Controlled beast mode.
Exactly. Like you can't just like see red. You got to see like.
What's the guy's name? That
pink.
I'm just gonna run right through you. The viral video.
Oh, run through a motherfucker's face. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. But that was football.
What was the question that you got asked?
I forget. He's like, yeah, like how do you approach scoring or whatever? And you gotta run through a motherfucker's face. You know, but that's carried on
over and over and over
again and again
until you don't doesn't want anymore.
Exactly, dude. That's funny. That carried over. We'll be watching other games and they're like, yeah, they got to run through his face. Like that's one way to do it. You can't do jiu-jitsu that way.
Yeah, that's it.
You get put in a guillotine.
Can't do life like that either,
no,
right?
You can't. You can't. Once, if you're redlining for so long, you know your engine's gonna blow out. Like you can only do so much, you know. And I've even learned that like as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, like as a white belt, psychotic. Me, 200 plus pounds, big, strong white belt, the most dangerous guy on the mat. Don't know shit. I can't tell you how many people I need or elbowed. We used to have this magician guy, and I remember he was like, I got a performance like tomorrow. I need him right in the face, dude. He had this big old black eye. He posted it on Instagram. You could see it. Like, I felt so bad. So bad. Shout out Magician Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
You, huh?
Yeah, that guy was crazy guard, you know? But then, like,
The
as
shallow
you go,
lasso guard, yeah.
Exactly. Insanity, dude.
Yeah.
And then, like, as you go, it's like, I can't push this pace anymore, but you also get more efficient, you know? And same thing in life. Like, you become more efficient, you understand the situations around you and how to handle them efficiently. You know, using less energy, which is why brown belts are always fat. I'm getting fat. For sure.
That's a good point, though, right? You get better, and then you become more efficient, and then your body's not working as hard.
Exactly. It's like, it's crazy because it shows jiu-jitsu is working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I had some rolls yesterday. Like, I sat in the same spot. I was like, I'm not moving from this spot. Like, I'm going to grab your foot, your leg, whatever, but I'm sitting right here. I'll spin around in a circle, but I'm not moving. You know, it's such a crazy thought, right? Like, minimal function for maximal gain.
That's it.
It's like, it's mind blowing. It really is, you know. And then, like, you know, rolling with newer guys with white belts, this and that, even blue belts, you tell them to slow down, and they're like, I am slowing down, and I just see myself. I'm like, dude, you're me, but younger, you know? Like, same thing. I was always like, I am slowing down. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going real slow. No, I'm not, dude. I would have broke somebody's arm if they'd give me the chance.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
now you can very well see it for sure, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time to really, like, and it's just like life, too. Like, it just takes time to understand everything and realize, like, what's trying to kill you and what's not, you know, and what kind of approaches you can make. Dude, what is going on? That's scaring me.
Muay Thai downstairs.
Oh, that's right.
The heavy bags.
That's insane. That's just Andy throwing kicks, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't ever get hit by that.
No leg kicks.
You know, I got crazy legs, but he has like veins on his quads. Like, those are goals. Like, I want to look like that. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to fight nobody.
Do you ever train Muay Thai?
I did for a few months.
Okay.
I think because I'm kind of dumb. They do the bang Muay Thai. It's a lot of combos.
Smart, yeah.
Oh my God, bro! I can't, like, him and I were partners. You know, and I'm if I would have
It works your brain, yeah. Left, right, feet, hands. You know.
My real problem
Switching.
is I'm such a sweaty bastard. I feel bad. I'll throw like a hook, and all the sweat from my arm goes in Kevin's mouth. Like, you remember that?
Oh my God.
It's like, I just go kick a bag, dude. Like, I feel bad hitting people. Like, I don't want to hit anyone ever. So the thought of, like, I'm punching someone, I'm like, ah.
What do you think about, you know, like the offensive linemen, right? Like them, like the Blindside movie, right? Like just how they protect the quarterback and how just their demeanor, like wanting to protect and help.
Dude, I am
compared to like a
biased.
defensive lineman, they're trying to, you know, their guys go to talk to me about that.
I am extremely biased.
Because like
Okay.
Orlando Sanchez was a defensive lineman, you know.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. This is all my opinion, okay? This is not nobody else's opinion. Offensive linemen, in my opinion, you got to be brilliant to be an O lineman, right? Like, you got to be able to read the entire defense, know your assignment, understand who's coming, read fakes. You know, you could put your hand down in front of me, and I could tell you which direction you're going. If your knuckles are a certain color, you're coming at me. You know, some stuff like that. Like, there's a lot to it, right? I got to understand my assignments, if I'm pulling, you know, any of that. I think it's a very intellectual game you got to play, especially as a center. You're the quarterback of the offensive line.
You played center?
I played center, guard, tackle, all of it. All of it. Left side, right side. I played D-line. I also played kicker, but that's another story. And it's like, there's so much to it, right? You got to listen for play calls, changes, changing protections, things like that. If you see a blitzer, you call him out, changes your protection. You know, there's a lot of intellectual whatever that goes into being an O-lineman. And then this is where my bias comes in. Any old dummy can play D-lineman, right? Like you hear a word, that means either you go this way or you go this way. You put your head down, you go tackle the guy with the ball. There's the intricacies are far less in being a D lineman than they are in being an O lineman. And like my bias, but like O line is high IQ stuff, right? And these guys are amazing. Generally, linemen in general are the nicest guys, right? Like big,
Offensive line or defensive line?
usually both.
Both, okay.
Because it's like the big dog, little dog. You know, little chihuahuas always barking, always got something to prove, this and that. But O lineman, it's like you get none of the glory. You get all of the blame. You if you do your job, you're supposed to do your job. If you don't do your job, you know, it's your fault. Everything's your fault. You're the only group that is an actual unit, collective unit. You know, quarterback's by himself, running back's by himself, receivers are out there by themselves. But you are 5 people that have to work together all at once. And if one falls apart, the whole thing collapses. You know, it's a symphony. It's an orchestra that has to continue to play. Otherwise, you hear the one that's, you know, playing off. D linemen, like, they're still intense guys, but I don't feel it's the same, right? Like, there's a certain intensity you have to play. They're ferocious, right? But like I said, any old extra chromosomal person can just put their head down and like water boy their way through it.
Why did you choose like offensive lineman compared to like a defensive?
So I'm gonna brag a little bit here, but like I played both in high school. You know what I mean? But I stuck with offensive line because I wanted to score, and I was good at it, right? I wanted to be on the side that scored the touchdown. I didn't want to be on the side that was like, oh, we're getting scored on, I've got to defend. Like, no, I want to run through your fucking face. You know what I mean? Like, and it was more exciting. There was more to it. You know, like I don't mind D-line. You know, but then I would go tackle somebody and they would hurt me. I was like, that sucks. But versus like, I don't know, the techniques on O-line, just getting hands on, proper technique, drive somebody, pancake them in the dirt, and then do it all over again the next play. Like I really enjoyed that aspect. It was mostly the scoring, and I was better at offense, right? Like I wasn't terrible at defense, but I wasn't the fastest guy.
What were some of your favorite techniques in football?
Dude, there's two. There's 2 things that I did as a lineman that were amazing. One is a down block.
Down block.
Which is like if I'm right here, right, and this mic is my opponent.
Yeah.
As soon as the ball snapped, I put my forehead in his ear hole and just clean him out. Just drive him to the sideline if he doesn't hit the floor immediately. Oh, it's beautiful. There's nothing like a good down block, man. The next would be a kick out. So if I'm on the left side, right, they snap the ball, I step back, and I turn, and I go to hit the guy at the end of the line. And it's the same idea as a down block.
So the down block is like you get the angle.
Exactly, but we're right here.
Right
Next to each other. A kick out is like I'm pulling, right? So I'm on the left, and I'm pulling around to the right side, and there's usually a guy just waiting for you. Just because the other guys went in a different direction, and he knows you're coming. And you get to just run full speed, head down into this guy, and it's like, who's tougher? Am I gonna mow you down, or are you gonna stop me in my tracks? Let's find out. They usually don't stop me.
Not to brag.
Not to brag or anything, but usually run right through them, man. I a lot of my highlights on my huddle are just running through people, like on kick out blocks, putting them in the dirt. Like, it was amazing, man. That's why I played for 9 years. You know, it was so much fun, dude. Yeah. It wasn't fun in the beginning. It was torture. It was like, oh, I got to do this every day. My brother's making me do this, blah, blah, blah.
What was the change? What changed?
Man, there was one night specifically, dude. I was like 12 years old, and I kept getting worked. It's my second year. We're doing tackling drills, and I'm getting worked over by a running back, and I've got like 20 pounds on him probably. My brother grabs me by the face mask. He's like, you want to be a little bitch the rest of your life, huh? And I'm like, no, I don't. And something that day just clicked. I ran around. He knows my brother, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
He was a good big brother, huh?
He was a good big brother, man. He was very, wasn't loving, but he was what I needed.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. That day, I was like, I am not going to be this fucking guy anymore, dude. I'm running through these walls. And yeah, ever since that, it was like I enjoyed it because I was no longer the nail. You know, I learned how to be the hammer in that aspect. And it was like everything looks like a nail when you're a hammer, you know, when you're when you're seeing red.
Yeah, you're a hammer, and what I find interesting, right, is you have this big heart. You like really enjoy helping people at the same time.
Sure, dude.
With jiu-jitsu and how I see, you know, even just not even jiu-jitsu, but just in your life, you know, how I see you
Absolutely,
approach
man.
everything.
I've
Always wanting to help, always, hey, how can I help? You're always supporting
Yeah.
others around you, everybody around you.
Absolutely. Well, it's like I can see for miles because I stood on the shoulders of giants. I've been graced by lots of people in my life, and I've been able to do so much because of the generosity of others. You know what I mean? So it would just be wrong of me not to pay it forward. And there's like, there's karma aspects to that too, right? Like if I just take, the universe is never going to give. But if I take and just keep giving back, it's going to be a constant flow. It's always cycling through. Like for example, when I was in college, right? This is when it really happened. My buddy Anthony picked me up every day. He went out of his way to drive to Burbank to pick me up to go to Valley. And I was just blown away that somebody would do that, right? Like, parents were nice to me, people were nice to me growing up, but not like that. Not to where somebody's going out of your way every day and not even just for him, not just for me, but like we're going to play football. So it's the betterment of the team. It was a group, it was a collective effort. So that always like stuck with me heavily. And I was like 17 when that happened. So, I wasn't always this way growing up. But then, like, that woke me up to things. And it's like, as I got out more, and traveled more, I was able to do things because, people were generous, So I was like, how could I not be the same way, right? The joy that I feel from being able to do these things or accept stuff, like, it's selfish in a way, too, because I get joy from helping you, too, helping you, seeing people be better, and in jiu-jitsu, in the most simplest way to explain, like, if I teach somebody a move or an idea, right? They're on top of me. Maybe they're not pinning me well. And I show them one thing that changes their game. And then they're like, oh, I've been doing this to everyone now. That's like my entire purpose. You know what I mean? Like, if I do nothing else, at least I was able to share my knowledge with a few people, right? And hopefully they can carry it on and it passes on. Like, we'll leave our legacy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's it. What's your favorite takedown? Judo takedown.
My favorite judo takedown? I have two for two different answers. One is the hip toss because, God, dude, just throwing a grown man over your hip, slamming them into the floor, like, it's beautiful. It's a symphony of music. Like, just everything goes well for it. And then while the guy's in midair, he's like, holy shit, because I've been there. You know what I mean? And then that one's probably my favorite, but I really love just like a Açai harai. It's a foot sweep, right? Just like I said, seeing somebody's whole life come out from under them. They're expecting to take a step and it's not there. Now they're on their back looking up at the ceiling. It's like, it's so minimal. It's so simple. And it's still so efficient. Like, and it did the same thing as the body slam. Hurt a lot less, but it just the efficiency, the arts, right? Like, judo means gentle way. And to do something so gently, it's like, dude, like I feel like I just did one. Like, it's so smooth, man.
What about submissions, jiu-jitsu?
Submissions, I really enjoy. I mean, there's, like I said, there's two. There's what I'm good at, and there's what I like. I really enjoy. This might be kind of mean, but like.
So your favorite jiu-jitsu submissions, what you like and what you're good at.
Which I'm good at, yes. Okay. I really like lately doing the calf slicer called the bear trap.
Okay.
Because you're like locking someone up and you're behind them, and I feel like it's degrading, and I'm just like, yeah. You do it to everybody, bro. I've gotten black belts with it. Like, they feel bad. That's my favorite part. But then like arm bars, shoulder locks. That's what I'm really good at. Like I'm
arm bars,
man. If you leave your arm out there
from
like
the guard or
from top, man.
Top, okay.
Guard's cool. I can certainly do things from guard, but I prefer like a good sweep. That's my game. I play guard. I'll sweep you if I'm playing guard. If we're not doing takedowns. And then just crushing pressure from up top. I don't even want to pass your guard. I want you to feel my presence as long as you can. I want you to suffer. It's not enough that I win. You should suffer and lose horribly.
You have to cook. You have to cook their guard, right? You have to
exactly. And that's
good,
what I'm learning
good guys,
too.
Tough guys, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm learning too as you go. Like, you can't just rush into the positions. You can't just, I mean, you can if it's there, but like, I'm not that good. So,
What kind of, you say arm bars from the top, shoulder locks? What kind of shoulder
all
locks?
day, bro. Just your typical high calorie grappling Americana.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, I sit there, trap the arm, and I just lay on you. And I just use my whole arm or my whole body to fight your arm. And I'll lay on you for minutes. I don't care. We'll take all day. It's your problem. It's your job to get out of here. I don't care if I won an easy way. I don't care if I'm a big guy. Do better.
Don't be like your brother grab your helmet.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a little.
You'll be a little bitch your whole life. I don't need to
Figure
do
it
that,
out.
You need to get stronger. That's what it is. Right? Like, yeah, I'm strong, but you could be strong too. But I'm also flexible.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
I
right.
can
You've been
damn
working
near do
on
the
it. You've been
splits.
working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody ever says, oh, you're only one because you're more flexible than me. Like, how ridiculous does that sound? Strength is a technique.
Straight up.
But
straight
strength
up.
applied to proper jiu-jitsu techniques is a game changer, right? Like, jiu-jitsu is meant to be for the little guys, and then the bigger guys figured out how to do jiu-jitsu. You know, there's an obvious difference. I've rolled with plenty of guys who are like, I'm gonna muscle you, you know, and it does nothing. Like, I can grip the shit out of this, and it does the same
Yeah.
thing as if I just did this.
Right.
You know, it's like, where do you apply the strength in your technique? Like, that's what matters most, you know? And then getting accused of being on steroids is the best part of all of that. it's the best part. You guys make me so happy. Like,
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I would be massive if I was shooting up. Give me 10 more years and I'm we're blasting, man.
Well, thanks, bro. Thanks for being you. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure seeing you grow on the mat. Just being friends, and yeah, just it's amazing, man, to see people grow up over the years. You said you were 24 years old when you came in, and
24-year-old shithead.
But it's just see how jiu-jitsu really transforms people's lives.
I'm grateful for it, man. Everything I have has been not only through jiu-jitsu, but like through legacy. You know, like meeting the people I've met, being able to do any of the experiences, traveling for jiu-jitsu tournaments, even like my apartment, you know, I was able to get through people that I've met through here at the gym. Like, I could not be more grateful. And if you're watching this somewhere out there and you don't do jiu-jitsu, you need to give it a try, man. It's not gonna save you, but it will change your life. You know what I mean? It has the power to. It has the power to make you change your life. Right? Like, it's not going to coddle you, but you're going to learn what you need to do and what it can do for you.
For you. That's it. That's it. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir.